Welcome to another edition of MTH's Product Update. I'm your host Taylor, and in this week's webcast we'll be taking a look at the premier line S36 German Pacific steam locomotive, the fourth European O-scale model to arrive from MTH electric trains. In 1871, Germany became the last major European country to unify after combining a hodgepodge of kingdoms. But it would be another 50 years before the 11 provincial railroads that were nationalized into the German Imperial Railway Company. In the meantime, each road continued to develop its own locomotive designs. One of the best was the Class S36 of the Royal Bavarian State Railways. Regarded by European enthusiasts as one of the most beautiful and successful of all steam locomotives, the Class S36 was built by A.G. Maffei beginning in 1908 and showcased the talent of that firm's chief designer, Heinrich Lepla. The stylish conical smokebox front of the S36 was complemented by a handsome holly green paint scheme. Two inboard high-pressure cylinders and two outboard low-pressure cylinders drove the center axle. The S36 was one of the first European engines to follow the American practice of casting the cylinders and smokebox saddle as one huge casting, which gave the engine a distinctive look. The majority of the class were fitted with 74-inch drivers to conquer Bavaria's mountainous terrain. A smaller number of S36 engines, however, was built with 79-inch drivers for high-speed service on flatter routes and acquired the nickname high steppers. After nationalization in 1920, the engines were painted in the black and red Deutsche Reichsbahn scheme and became classes 18.3 through 18.5. While the DR intended to develop new standard engines of its own, the S36 was deemed so good that the DR continued to order new engines of this 1908 design through 1931. The relatively light axle loading of the S36, 18 tons, was also a plus, as the DR was behind schedule in upgrading main lines to its new 20-ton standard. So successful were the Bavarian Pacifics that they were chosen over the more modern power to lead the glorious cream and blue Rheingold Express on part of its scenic route down the Rhine Valley, both before and after World War II. An S36 could also be seen often on the point of the Orient Express. Even after World War II, the aging engines continued to be great performers. A large number were modernized with new boilers and became the most economical steamers on the Deutsche Bundesbahn, the new name for West Germany's railroad system. By the 1960s, however, the S36 class, which originally numbered 159 locomotives, had been retired, with a number of engines preserved in museums or in operating condition. This superbly detailed model of one of Europe's favorite steam engines is offered in original Royal Bavarian paint schemes and post-nationalization black and red. All versions come complete with both DCC and DCS command control receiver and will operate on AC or DC power on both 2- or 3-rail track. Check out this S36 and her ProtoSound 3.0 electronics in action for yourself in this upcoming video. And thanks again for tuning in to the MTH Product Update. We'll see you again soon.